Welcome and congratulations on your new Timney trigger. My name is Nate,
And my name is Alex.
and we're here to help guide you through the installation process of the 638 Savage Accutrigger.
As well as give you a few tech tips where needed to make the installation process seamless. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do this.
To get started, want to make sure that the ammunition source is removed and chamber is empty. Make sure magazine is removed. Check your chamber, make sure it's clear. Go ahead and remove your bolt. Once you've removed the ammunition source, you want to flip it over, and this is a bottom bolt release model. So you'll have this bottom bolt release, screw underneath it. You want to remove these 3 action screws completely to remove the action from the stock. With a replacement Accutrigger, it's going to come with a little baggie. You'll have a replacement E-clip, pull-away spring, and adjustable wrench. With the factory E-clip, want to go ahead and remove that with a flathead screwdriver or another flat surface just to pop it off the pin. Be mindful, try not to lose it, but if you do have that spare. Once you have that E-clip removed, go ahead and punch that pin through, kind of pull through on the other side, and the factory trigger will remove as one piece. With the replacement trigger assembly, it's going to have 3 adjustment screws. The front one will be your sear engagement, middle is going to be your safety adjustment once the sear has been adjusted, and then the back one's going to be your pull weight. You can fine tune the pull weight once you make sure that the sear engagement and safety line up. You're going to take your new pull weight spring, insert it into the back of the trigger assembly, put it in the action here, and slide that pin through. Once you have your E-clip reinstalled, with the bolt open, want to make sure that there's spring tension on the trigger shoe and it's not just flopping around. You have that pull weight spring lined up. There's not going to be a detent or anything that's holding it there, just the trigger itself. You can go ahead and close your bolt. With the bolt closed, go ahead and dry fire it. See how it feels. If you need more sear engagement or less, feels like there's too much creep in the trigger assembly, that front sear engagement screw can be adjusted. Easiest way to do that to confirm you have engagement, cock the bolt and adjust this screw clockwise until it fires, then back it out 1 flat. There's 6 flats on an Allen key. Go to the nearest one and just rotate it counterclockwise 1 flat. With your sear engagement now fine-tuned, want to adjust that safety to your sear. So to confirm this, put it in the middle position and see if there's any movement in the trigger assembly. You shouldn't have any play and it should not fire. And then you can open it, close it, still nothing. Move it to the 3rd position. Want to make sure you don't have too much tension on it. And your bolt lock works. With your safety now set to the sear, go ahead and put the safety back to the fire position, and we can dry fire it a couple of times and check the pull weight. If you feel like it needs to be adjusted a little bit higher, this back screw can be turned clockwise to increase that spring tension and your pull weight. If you need it lower, we don't recommend going lower than 1.5 pounds. However, you can take that screw, back it out counterclockwise until you reach your desired pull weight. On a standard model that does not have a bottom bolt release, you do not need to go through this step. However, since we are installing this in a bottom bolt release model here, we found it easiest to add a washer that is a 3/8 by 1/4, 32 thousandths thick spacer in between the front of the trigger guard to allow clearance for the movement of the trigger. Now that it has been function checked, we can go ahead and reinstall it and confirm everything works exactly the same inside the stock. On this bottom bolt release model, we're going to insert our front screw, make sure it's still loose so there's a little bit of movement, clearance for the trigger guard, and then you can insert that spacer right here on the back of it. Now when inserting that front trigger guard screw. Make sure it goes through that washer and can be tightened down, and confirm that your bolt release does function properly without any hangup. Once the action is secured into the stock with the bottom metal, we want to go ahead and function check it same way we did with just the barreled action. Go ahead and cycle the bolt. It fires. Go ahead and check your safety positions. Middle one, no movement in the trigger, can still open the bolt. Third position, no movement in the trigger, can't open the bolt. Lastly, when you push forward, want to make sure it does not fire.
And that's it. We hope this helped you on the installation process of the 638 Savage Accutrigger.
If you have any remaining questions, our world-class customer service agents are more than happy to help. Just give us a call, 623-223-1111, or visit timneytriggers.com and click on the yellow Contact Us button on the right-hand side.
If not, congratulations on installing your new Timney trigger. You can now go and shoot with ease knowing that you have the world's finest trigger in your hands.